one is schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is something that most people actually don't even know that they have or they even possess in them. I think almost everybody has schizophrenia. It's just that the state at which each person can possess is different. There's mild, there's moderate, and there's severe. Mostly people that have the severe cases are the ones that most people acknowledge as those that have schizophrenia. Actually, let me make a scenario for you. Have you ever found yourself in a situation whereby you just think something, like you just come up with something, and eventually you now realize that, oh, I was mistaken, oh, that's not even what happened, sorry, I just thought that, oh, I thought that that was how it is now, no, you just thought that, or the thing just came to your mind, or you had a misconception about something and that thing really looks like it. Like, no, you are not, you are so convinced that you are right, but eventually you now got to see that what you thought was not what it was. Exactly how schizophrenia is. But because it's still in a mild case, everybody has that, they have had that time whereby they just thought that, oh, I just thought that, oh, I really was convinced that that was what happened, but later I realized that that was not it. Like, no, I'm very sure that that was what happened, but I'm very sure I was so convinced that this is what it is. Eventually, you now found out that that thing is not what you were thinking. Actually, all what you made up in your head, all what you came up about, all what you thought was actually not what it was. Exactly. So now let's put it in a very severe case. It's when it becomes so severe that those people get to now see that, oh, sometimes it can seem as if those their thoughts will now come out in reality to them. Sometimes the thoughts will now be so loud that you'll be hearing voices, you'll be seeing things, your reality will be altered. Like, when you are thinking of something now, let's just imagine that, oh, like the way I'm sitting down here now and I'm talking to you, I can actually, this same scenario can look like something else that is so similar, and I will just imagine that that thing is true, and which is not true at all. That is a very severe one, and you get to acknowledge in people. And it can be deadly. I won't lie to you, because it can come with panic attacks and phobias, whereby people will be the person, the individual that has it, especially the severe cases, it will be very high. You can see these things in people with autism, people with psychosis, people with postpartum psychosis, people with neurological condition, people with mental illnesses mostly come with schizophrenia. And I'm going to attach this because people don't know what causes it, but I'm telling you now that most of it is derived from the food. Because as at the anaerobic end result of the anaerobic respiration, which is glycolysis, is your glucose converting into ethanol, also lactic acid and carbon dioxide. But now I'm going to make use of only the ethanol. Let's just make use of ethanol alone. That ethanol now still does the same effect as you taking the normal alcohol that you buy, the rum, the white whatever, the beam, the wine and all that eventually. But the effect might be reduced, and it depends on how the person consumes food. So you cannot expect somebody that just eats twice in a day now and that eats little might not really see that effect. But some people don't know. Sometimes in your caffeine, your coffee, sometimes in your energy drinks and all that, it can actually alter the reality they are seeing. It plays a very big bad game in the brain, in the way you see things, in the way you see your reality, in the way things are constructed, and you can be so convinced that whatever you are seeing or whatever you are thinking is 100%. And nobody can get into your head to fix it until you realize it. And most times when that substance that you are taking, whether food, drink, whatever it is, has weighed off. So, and it might not affect everybody the same way. Like I've said before, that it determines on the part of the brain where those neurotransmitters affect, those the glucose, the sugar affect in the brain. You understand? So it determines. I don't really know what aspect deals with reasoning in the brain, but if you know that aspect, that's exactly where I'm going to. The things that we think, the things that the aspect that deals with thinking and reasoning, and you just conclude that the sky is falling down and the sky is just where it is, and you're so convinced that the sky is coming after you understand what I'm saying? And maybe the person just start running helter skelter, like, hey, the sky is falling, and everybody's looking at the sky and the sky is just still, you know, understand? So it depends, it actually alters reality, the way you think. So if you see now, maybe after I've explained, when you see somebody is feeling it or somebody is going through, you understand me better if you can relate it to the fact that in a time in your life you've something have happened that you really thought that it was so real, that but people were saying no, or I'm trying to convince you, or eventually I now eventually realize that, oh, what was wrong with me, what was I thinking, sorry, I just thought, you understand? It happens a lot. This schizophrenia can affect, it has affected a lot of people's relationship with people, because you know people are very bad at conclusion. They will not come to you to ask you, oh, something happened yesterday, okay, what was it, or that. They will just jump to conclusion. That can be a mild sign of schizophrenia too. Sometimes they may even come to you sef and you explain that, oh, that's not what it is, but because they've seen it in their brain, they've seen it in their own way, there's nothing you can say that will convince them that what they are thinking or what it looks like is real. And sometimes they can even extend that thing that they feel to other people and convince them that, no, that this thing I'm saying is exactly the way I'm saying it, nothing can change it in me. And eventually they will now get to see that, oh, it was not even like that. So that can be like an example, like the mild state of schizophrenia, and maybe later they will now realize that, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I just thought that, I was so convinced that that thing was like that, I didn't realize that. Now I realize now that it's not like that, you understand? So that's the mild way. Moderate can be more than the mild, and severe is worse. It's so worse that it's one of the biggest factor in psychosis. Schizophrenia is biggest in psychosis. It will alter your reality. You can see your normal water that you are drinking, and your mind is telling you that that water is coming after you, or that water is dancing, and you will believe nothing anybody will say will convince you that that thing is like that, because it's in the air. It's like, it's the way the brain communicates with you. You understand? It will alter the reality. Like, in fact, if there's something else that is better than 100%, that's what it will be. So I think you should read about it, read more about it, and I'll be here to answer. And if there's any correction, I'm open to correction though. Maybe I didn't use any word right, or my terminology. Thank you for listening. God bless you.